Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Vande Guru Nisha Bhakta Nisha Nishavataраkan Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sangyakam Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gaudadeye Pushpavanatao Chitrao Sandao Tamonadao Granthira Arambha Kori Mangala Charana Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinera Smarana Hoya Vigana Vinashana Anayasa Safal Nijavanchita Purana Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear worshipful devotees, thank you for joining. We are reading Sri Chaitanya Caritamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 7, entitled The Lord Chaitanya in 5 Features. So we have read till text number 65 in the last reading. We're going to resume from the next verse, which is text 66. The context here is that Prakashananda Saraswati held Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his hands and asked him to please sit in the comfortable asana, not in the area to where they were washing feet. And we discussed a lot about Agyata Sukruti as well yesterday. So Prakashananda Saraswati got this Agyata Sukruti, or unknowingly he rendered some devotional service. Let's read further from text 66. Puchila tomara naam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Keshava Bhartira Shishya Tate Tomi Dhanya. Translation and so translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Prakashananda Saraswati then said, I understand that your name is Shri Krishna Chaitanya. You're a disciple of Shri Keshav Bharati, and therefore you are glorious. So, quite straightforward verse here. Prakashananda Saraswati already kind of knew that he's a disciple of Keshav Bharati. And it's also like some people ask, why the Lord took sannyas in the Keshav Bharati Samprada? So that the Mayavadis could respect, right? Why he didn't take like Gaudiya Vaishnava? Because the Mayavadis could respect, otherwise they would not consider him. The main reason was that that these offenders should respect. And there's another also story that the Lord gave the mantra in the ear of the Guru, and then the Guru gave the mantra to the Lord. So that doesn't happen in a traditional sannyas or diksha, sannyas diksha, but Lord is the one who is the Adi Guru. So quite straightforward. Let's read 67. Anyone would like to read?
I can Pranam or Srila Prabhupada. সাম্প্রদায়িক সন্ন্যাসী তুমি রহ এই গ্রামে কি কারণে আমার সবার না করো দর্শনে. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. You belong to our Shankar Sampradaya and live in our village, Varanasi. Why then do you not associate with us? Why is it that you avoid even seeing us? Purport: a Vaishnava Sannyasi or a Vaishnava in the second stage of advancement in spiritual knowledge can understand four principles, namely the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the devotees, the innocent, and the jealous, and he behaves differently with each. He tries to increase the love for God, make friendship with the devotees, and preach Krishna consciousness amongst the innocent, but he avoids the jealous who are envious of Krishna consciousness. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself exemplified such behavior, and this is why Prakashananda Saraswati inquired why he did not associate or even talk with them. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu confirmed by example that a preacher of the Krishna consciousness movement generally should not waste his time talking with the Mayavadi sannyasis, but when there are arguments on the basis of Shastra, a Vaishnava must come forward to talk and defeat them in philosophy. According to Mayavadi Sannyasi, only one who takes sannyas in the disciple succession of Shankaracharya is a Vedic sannyasi. Sometimes it is challenged that the sannyasis who are preaching in the Krishna consciousness movement are not genuine because they do not belong to Brahman families. For Mayavadis, do not offer sannyasa to one who does not belong to a Brahmana family by birth. Unfortunately, however, they do not know that at present everyone is born a Shudra. Kalau Shudra Shambhava. It is to be understood that there are no Brahmanas in this age because those who claim to be Brahmanas simply on the basis of birthright do not have the Brahminical qualifications. However, even if one is born in a non-Brahman family, if he has the Brahminical qualification, he should be accepted as a Brahmana, as confirmed by Srila Narad Muni and the great saint Sridhara Swami. This is also stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. Both Narad and Sridhara Swami completely agree that one cannot be a Brahman by birthright but must possess the qualities of Brahmana. Thus, in our Krishna consciousness movement, we never offer the sannyas order to a person whom we do not find to be qualified in terms of prescribed Brahminical principles. Although it is a fact that unless one is Brahman, he cannot become a sannyasi. It is not a valid principle that an unqualified man who is born in a Brahmana family is a Brahman, whereas a Brahmanically qualified person born in a non-Brahman family cannot be accepted. The Krishna conscious movement strictly follows the injunctions of Srimad Bhagavatam, avoiding misleading, harshe, and hearsay and manufactured conclusions. Be nice, excellent purport. So here a Vaishnava, especially Vaishnava or Vaishnava Sannyasi, should know four classifications how to behave. One is the Supreme, the Lord, the personal Godhead, the devotees, and the innocent and the jealous. So, and Prabhupada clearly explaining that he tries to increase the love for the Godhead, Vaishnava, friendship with the devotees, peace, Krishna consciousness among the innocent, but he avoids the jealous who are envious to Krishna conscious movement. So that means Krishna conscious movement means who doesn't believe in Krishna as a form. These are Mayavadis. So we should avoid them without. But when the argument comes on the basis of Shastra, then a Vaishnava must come forward. That's why you have to read Shastra and if any time this type of argument comes, we can comment from Prabhupada's verses and examples. And Mayavadis actually, they give sannyasa only the from who are born Brahmana by birth. But as we read in the Vivan Gita, Krishna said that Chaturvarna Mahashitam Guna Kama Vivakasha, not by birth. And Bhagavatam said, Narmuni said, Siddha Swami said. So even the person, and in Kali Yuga we're all Shudras. Jarmana Jayate Jarmana Shudra, right? Jarmana Jayate Shudra. So, but if somebody gets a Brahmin qualification, as you see in the Krishna conscious movement, even women, Prabhupada given the Brahman Diksha, and they are real Brahmana because they are illumined by the Shastras and service to the Lord. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So how to deal with different kinds of people for a Madhyamadikari is beautifully mentioned here. And Srila Prabhupada is basically referring to this verse in the Bhagavatam. Ishvara tad adhineshu balisheshu dvishatsu cha prema metri kripopeksha yah karoti samadhyama. An intermediate or second-class devotee, Madhyamadikari, offers his love for the Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, is a sincere friend with all the devotees of the Lord, shows mercy to ignorant people who are innocent, and disregards those who are envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's what we see in this purport here. Love to the Supreme Lord, right? Ishvara tat Ishwar ke adhin. Ishvara tat adhineshu. Taking full shelter of the Supreme Lord. Bhagwan ke adhin. Ishvara tat adhineshu. Balisheshu. Dvishu. Dvishatstu cha. So balisheshu. Those who are neophytes, those who are ignorant, those who are innocent, basically. And those who do dvesha. Those who are envious of Krishna or his devotees. Prema Maitri. Prema Maitri Kripa. So basically here, in Sanskrit, sometimes it's not like a straight sentence. So, Yat Karoti Sa Madhyama. One who does that is Madhyamadikari. So three kinds of devotees are mentioned first. Let's see here. Those who are subordinate, who have taken full shelter of Krishna consciousness, number one. Those who are innocent, number two. Maybe I'll use a different color for this. Okay, anyway, somehow my mouse is not working. Those who are devotees, pure devotees. Those who are innocent and those who are envious. 1, 2, 3. How we should deal with those pure devotees? With a lot of love. Basically, take their shelter. Take guidance from them. Actually, I'm sorry. Love is here mentioned as to love towards the Supreme Lord, Maitri towards the devotees, friendship, Kripa. Kripa is compassion, care, kindness towards innocent, and Upeksha, ignore. Don't argue with envious. Those who don't want to listen, don't argue, because it will only increase their envy. Yat karoti samadhyama. So 4 people, Supreme Lord, his devotees, those who are innocent, those who are envious. Prema, Maitri, Kripa, Peksha. How to deal with these 4 kinds of people or 4 kinds of personalities. Ya karoti samadhyama. Madhyama means the second class devotee, because pure, like Uttamadikari, he does not see anyone envious of Lord. he is beyond all this. But in the preaching movement, even an Uttamadikari comes to the level of Madhyamadikari for preaching purposes. Because for preaching purposes, we cannot be like Nityananda Prabhu, right? We cannot imitate Nityananda Prabhu and go to those who are trying to kill us we cannot reach them, right? Because that's what Jagai Madai were doing. They were trying to kill Nityananda Prabhu or cause harm, but still Nityananda Prabhu continued but we have to avoid such association of envious. Those who are innocent, yes, give them full love, kindness, associate friendship with devotees and love to the Lord. Nice verse, actually, it's a memory verse too. Will someone like to recite? One or two devotees can try to recite, so it'll go deeper in our consciousness. Anyone wants to try?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am.
ईश्वर तद अधीनेषु बालिसेषु द्विषस्तु च प्रेम मैत्री कृपोपेक्षा प्रेम मैत्री कृपोपेक्षा यः करोति स मध्यमः.
Vivo, very nice. Anyone else wants to try? ईश्वरे तद्धीनेषु बालिशेषु द्विषस्तु च प्रेम मैत्री कृपोपेक्षा यः करोति स मध्यमः. Okay. Let's move to the next. So this is what is mentioned here, how to deal differently with, that's the exact verse. So 11 to 46. Mahaprabhu showing. So Prakashananda Saraswati is asking, why are you avoiding us? That's the reason, because they are envious of the Lord. That's why the Lord didn't want. The Lord didn't go there to associate with these people, but because his devotee invited him. That was the main reason. Okay. 68. Would someone like to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Text 68. Sannyasi hayyakara nartana gayana bhavuka savasanga tanakara sankirtana. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. You are a sannyasi. Why then do you indulge in chanting and dancing, engaging in your Sankirtana movement in the company of fantasies? Purport. This is a challenge by Prakasananda Saraswati to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anubhasya that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the object of Vedanta philosophical research, has very kindly determined who is an appropriate candidate for study of Vedanta philosophy. The first qualification of such candidate is expressed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Sikhyastaka. Trinadapi Sunischena Taroiva Sahisnuna Amannina Manadena Kirtanya Sadahari. This statement indicates that one can hear or speak about Vedanta philosophy through the disciplic succession. One must be very humble and meek, more tolerant than a tree and more humble than the grass. One should not claim respect for himself, but should be prepared to give all respect to others. One must have these qualifications to be eligible to understand Vedic knowledge. Back to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Any comments, Mataji? Thank you for reading.
Yes, Prabhuji. One devotee must be humble and he should respect the other Vaishnavas. And so here it is described in like the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, he has already described in his Sikhyastakam, like one should be humble like a grass, and more tolerant. One should be more tolerant. Yes, Prabhuji, back to you.
Very well. Thank you. So here Prakashananda is saying to the Lord, why are you doing Nartana Gayan? This is not the business for sannyasi. Sannyasi means to study. Sannyasi means to engage in Vedanta study and philosophical debate and whatnot. Why are you bhavuk, sentimental? Sometimes people say this, oh, you guys are sentimental, don't have anything better to do, just chanting like madman, dancing, jumping up and down. See, that was, an allegation on the Supreme Lord also by these Mayavadis. You are bhavuk. You are just a sentimental fool. You don't know Vedanta. Sabha sange lana kharo sankirtana. What are you doing? This is a movement of fanatics in the company of fanatics. People, Hare Krishna people are often addressed as fanatics. You guys don't have something better to do, jumping on the street up and down. So let's see what Lord told him. Lord didn't immediately do it for. It's a very heavy statement. Let's just say someone says to us, "Hey, you guys don't know anything. You're just like jumping like fanatics." How will we feel? Our ego is like a blow to the ego, right? But Lord is teaching us humility. Trinadapi Samichi, How the Lord responded, we'll see. Okay, next verse. 69. Would someone like to read? Prakashananda continues here. The Lord's response will come later. Maybe we'll study that tomorrow. But let's complete 69 and 70. So at least we can see what further questions. Here Prakashananda actually from text 66 onwards is asking multiple questions to the Lord. And the Lord is, going to respond to them. But this is the first question, or a series of first questions till text 70. Here, the point is he's saying, you guys are fanatics, you are jumping up and down. Why? Why then you don't indulge in, you're a sannyasi, your business is not to indulge in chanting. 69, let's read that. Anyone? Anyone would like to read? Who hasn't got a chance?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I? Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I read?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna devotees. Text 69. Vedanta Patmana Yana Sanyashira Dharma Dahachari Karakini Pavukira. Translation, purport of His Divine Grace, Prabhupada Ki Jai. Meditation and the study of Vedanta are the sole duties of a sannyasi. Why do you abandon these to dance with fanatics? Purport. As explained in regard to verse 41, Mayavadi sannyasis do not approve of chanting and dancing. Prakashananda Saraswati, like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, misunderstood Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be a misled young sannyasi, and therefore he asked him why he indulged in the association of fanatics instead of executing the duty of a sannyasi. So again, Prakashananda Swami is misunderstanding the status of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he's asking you, why do you dance with fanatics? Why don't you study and reveal the scriptures other sannyasis are doing? So they just misunderstood Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's all, Prabhuji, back to you.
Hare Krishna. So thank you for, I think we've already kind of covered this in text 41 also, that Mayavadis, their job is to primarily indulge in philosophical debates, right? Although sannyasi does not take interest in the study of Vedanta, but instead engages in the chanting. So that's what the blasphemers are saying. And that now they are meeting. Firstly, they were saying like, the Lord had not met, or they were not. Now they're in the same room, but they're bringing up this accusation again that you are just busy in chanting, dancing, and you don't indulge in the Shastra study. The duty of sannyasi is to study. Did we cover this source? Yes, I think Baldev Prabhu is 66, 67, 68. Susrubi Mataji read this, and then 69. Okay, so more questions, right? Why don't you study the scriptures? That's a duty of, or Vedanta specifically. Let's read next one, text 70. Anyone would like to read? Prabhave dekhiya tuma sakshat narayana hinachara kara kena ithe ki karana. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. You look as brilliant as if you were Narayana himself. Will you kindly explain? Will you kindly explain the reason that you have adopted the behavior of lower class people? Lower class people. Hina achara. Hina means fallen or lower. Dina hina jani. Due to renunciation, Vedanta study, meditation, and the strict regulative principles of their daily routine, Mayavadi sannyasis are certainly in a position to execute pious activities. Thus, Prakashananda Saraswati, on account of his piety, could understand that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not an ordinary person, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sakshat Narayana. He considered him to be Narayana himself. Mayavadi sannyasis address one another as Narayana because they think that they are all going to be Narayana or merge with Narayana in the next life. That's like a big, big danger sign. It's a typical symptom, Mayavadi, that we are as good as Narayan or we'll become as good as Narayan. So therefore, they address as Narayan. Prakashananda Saraswati appreciated that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already directly become Narayana and did not need to wait until his next life. One difference between the Vaishnava and the Mayavadi philosophies is that Mayavadi philosophers think that after giving up their bodies, they are going to become Narayana by merging his body, by merging with his body. Whereas the Vaishnava philosophers understand that after the body dies, they are going to have a transcendental spiritual body in which to associate with Narayana. Hare Krishna. So this is the last part of the first question. So who remembers what all the different parts of the questions Prakashananda Saraswati asked Lord Chaitanya when he brought him to sit with him? Anyone recalls how this started? So the first part was, why don't you, associate with us? Why are you avoiding us? right? That was the first part. Then the second part was, why are you chanting and dancing like a madman, like fanatic in the Sankirtan? And the third was, why you gave up the meditation and the study of this Vedanta, hmm, which is the main duty of sannyasi, right? So why you give up association, why you are chanting, dancing like a bhavuka, fanatic, and third is giving up study of Vedanta. So these are like question one, part A, B, C. You can say Prakashananda asked. Hmm. And he's also kind of adding more envy or expressing himself that you have adopted the behavior of a hina or low class person, right? Low class people chant and dance or like they give up study, but you are a sannyasi, as brilliant as Narayana. So in Mayavadi, what they say, danda dharyena matrena, like when someone holds a danda, sannyasa danda, eka dandi sannyas, danda dharyena matrena, nar narayan bhavet, nar narayan ho jata. Nar and Narayan become same. How? By taking to sannyas. But that's not the Vedic Vaishnava understanding. That even when one takes sannyas, it's not that that person has become God. Yes, that person is very advanced. We respect that. We must respect that. But his body is also made up of earth, water, and his, as mentioned here, that after the body dies, they are going to have a transcendental spiritual body, and made up of Satchidananda. Now, their body is sacred, because therefore the sannyasi's body is not burnt, because their body is also pure. Therefore, it's not burnt. Sannyasis, their body is not burnt. They samadhi is made. You may have observed or been to some samadhis like in Vrindavan or Mayapur, or Srila Prabhupada Samadhi, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Sai Thakur, or even in like if you've been to Dallas, or if you're going to Dallas, there is Samadhi of His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. If you have been to Gita Nagari, there is Samadhi of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. Like that, certainly there are Pushpa Samadhis, Dugdha Samadhi, different types of Samadhis are there, 7, 8 different types of Samadhis are there. But anyways, that's not the key point. The point is that their body is sacred, but it's not that Nar becomes Narayan. Nar and Narayan are the two birds. Like Jiva does not become, Atma doesn't become Paramatma. Jiva stays Jiva, God is God. We are eternally separated part and parcel of God. We don't become God, or we were not God, or we are not going to become God in next life, or we should not try to become God, or we can never be God. And neither, it's not like a something less. It's actually God was to become his devotee, right? So being a devotee is actually that's our eternal constitutional position. And that's how a devotee is happy, joyful, in service of the Lord and the Vaishnavas. So, yeah. Any comments, thoughts here?
So, Prabhuji, it looks like that the Mayavadis also believe in Narayan, right? Because Narayan has a form, and comparing the Lord as a Narayan.
Their understanding of Narayan is basically merging with the, they are not talking about the, Shankha Chakra Gada Padma Narayan, with the form. And the big difference also is they're basically talking about the impersonal Jyoti, and then they're going to merge with that effulgence. Then they're, yes. Does that clarify?
Yes, sure, Prabhuji.
Okay. So I think it will be appropriate to cover the Lord's response to these questions from the next class. So we can pause here. We're always a little late, so it's okay to pause a little early today. We are going to pause here unless anyone has a quick comment or a question before we pause. Anything to add or share? Okay, Shri Chaitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveti Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya eva cha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Thank you, Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.